Ray John, let's talk. Kevin Owens finally turning heel. Now we talked about this a little bit before we started the show. And yeah, it's been a long time coming. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm surprised this nigga ain't tweak out sooner.
Like, yeah, like you're right. He should have tweeted out years ago. For you
Like I'm
being
not gonna lie
honest,
to you. He should have been out of there.
he should have been. Yeah,
Like
he should be a menace.
he should have been crash out. He should have been public enemy number one in WWE.
He should have been crashed at the moment Cody won the title. He should have been the one nigga in the ring that was hating.
Like I would have gave Cody some love, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I definitely would have beat his ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cause I was you know one thing I thought about too with Kevin Owens.
Mhm.
He had two title championship matches against Roman during the 4 years, back to back Rumbles, 2023 and 2024.
He definitely did, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so this was like really a long time coming. It's like, so this motherfucker who came back 2 years ago is now the champion when I didn't been fighting my ass off year after year, and I ain't seen a title on my belt since 2018.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Definitely would have crashed out on the nigga.
Oh yeah, you see, he beat the shit out of Randy Orton too.
You know, people online been saying that they feel like it's a ruse over Cody,
No,
but Randy Orton too selfish for that. I don't think Randy Orton
if
shared
Randy
that.
really wanted that title, he would have been RKO'd the shit out of Cody. This is Kevin Owens like finally being like, I'm sick of helping y'all in y'all shit when I really should be focusing on me. Because he really hasn't been focusing on him.
Remember when they beat his ass when they beat his ass at the Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
Cody nor Randy was nowhere to help.
Nowhere to help. Only nigga that helped him was Sammy. And even Sammy got beat down for that. And where was they? Nowhere to be seen.
Randy was too busy thinking about the Rumble.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so yeah, this was very, and I'm very interested to see what this is gonna be because I can just see him every week coming out and just whooping Cody ass until Cody finally give him a title championship match.
Yeah, nah. It makes no sense if this was a ruse, but it also wouldn't make sense either if Randy Orton had to pick a side right now. Because at the end of the day, Roman is fully ducked off from the title.
And that's what I was saying, like, and that's why they need to keep Cody away from this whole bloodline shit. Like right now, like we're building up to this bloodline versus bloodline in the War Games match. Keep Cody away from that. Keep Cody away from that right now.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely done seeing him fight side by side with Roman Reigns.
Keep him away from right now. What, the bloodline got 4 members, right? Okay, cool. Give Roman and Jimmy, Jay, and Sami Zayn and call it one. Have it be a 4v4. I know it's traditionally a 5v5, but a 4v4 it's not going to really make that much of a difference.
Unless we debuting important people.
Exactly. Because we do got other Fasu members that, have signed to the company. Because you remember, what was it, Zilla Fatu? He was signed to a company and he was supposed to have a match one weekend. They said they just straight up released him from his contract. And that was because he signed with WWE, but we haven't seen him so far.
He tried to sign with WWE. Right now he's still under contract with Reality of Wrestling, Booker T shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, he's their world champion. So, I mean, I think he's doing all right. I think he still got a little bit of time before he got to decide to come through. Now, if WWE need him right now, like they feel like this is the time to be alive and debut him, then do what you got to do, bruh. But if you're not too worried about it, don't come in to this shit too much because I don't want you being in the background. And you don't have to be a Cotel member. Like, you ain't got to be like, like, I don't need to see you just in the background of Roman. Like, I need to see if you really the prodigy that everybody's saying you are.
No, and I was going to say that too. Don't just also bring in members just for this bloodline match, and then once this whole bloodline shit disperse in about a year's time, they mid bottom tier card people who ain't doing shit because we didn't move on storyline wise. And that's kind of my fear with like the current day bloodline. It's like what's gonna happen once the bloodline does end?
Because I don't know how much they believe in Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully know his direction. I know that Tama Tonga is definitely going to linger around the mid card and tag team area. What the fuck is Tonga Loa going to do?
What the fuck is Solo gonna do?
He can go to Raw and go challenge for the world title.
And not win it?
Shit, it's too many niggas that won't win that motherfucker over there right now.
That is true.
Sami Zayn not gonna get that bitch right now.
I can see him in like a year and a half.
I could see Sami in like 3 more years before he 3 to 5 more years before he retire, I think. But I cannot see Sami Zayn next year holding that title.
I see Jimmy more likely to hold it than Sammy.
I fuck
in a
around.
year's time.
I fuck around and see Damian Priest hold that bitch again before I see Sammy hold it. And that ain't. I love Sammy.
I would say, there's no shade to Sammy.
This underdog shit get old quick. I'm sorry. This underdog shit get boring.
And if we're gonna be real, they didn't really do shit with him after he won the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther. And that's what really pissed me off. Like that whole storyline he had with Bro for like the Intercontinental Championship afterward. I'm like, where is this going?
The dog shit.
I would say it didn't amount to shit. And I love Sammy. Got that match he had against Roman at the 2023 Elimination Chamber in Montreal. That shit was fire. But it's like ever since then they've done like big moments with Sammy, but then it's been like they don't book him well afterward
at all.
They'll give him like, okay, here's your big moment, Sammy. Just like, okay, what are we looking like 3 months down from the line? Oh, we don't know. Like that's what they're currently doing with LA Knight, and that one fucking hurts. Because like LA Knight has so much charisma, he has so much to offer, and yet we're not doing nothing with him. He beat Logan Paul for this title and ain't done shit with them motherfucker since.
Very good points. So we're gonna just roll off a subject here because I thought about something that I wanted to talk about. And Brajan, I put it in my laptop specifically for a 20-minute rant, but I don't want to use my 20-minute rant on it.
Okay.
I don't want to use my 20-minute rant on it. I want to talk about this before we get into the real thing that we're going to get into today. WWE, Nick Aldis, whoever the fuck is in charge of SmackDown, hell, Triple H, Paul, whatever the fuck you want, Hunter, whatever you want to be called. Y'all are debuting a tag team next week to go against Legado Fantasma. And I've heard rumors on who it could be. I'm going to turn to this camera. If it's the Motor City Machine Guns, y'all bet not fuck this up.
Bro, that's my fear too.
Y'all bet not fuck this up. Chris know how much these niggas mean to me. We gonna talk about it in the side quest episode too. But we gonna talk. Y'all bet not fuck this up for me. Y'all bet not fuck up this boyhood dream that I had. Watching these niggas go to WWE and win the titles. Do you know how many years ago that was? I was 12. I'm finna be 25 on Thursday. If y'all fuck this moment up for me, it only needs to be one tag team belt in y'all company. That means the tag team champions go to SmackDown and Raw. They fight everybody, every tag team. Because there's no point in having two belts. There's no point in having two belts.
I've always kind of felt like it's fucking stupid to have two different ones, but I guess it's the networks that are demanding it.
Because it's just showing me that y'all don't give a fuck about tag team wrestling. So why the fuck should I take it seriously? If y'all are debuting Motor City Machine Guns, the most decorated tag team outside of WWE,
To have their recognition globally.
these niggas made doing this shit look cool. Other than the Hardys and Team 3D and Edge and Christian, I ain't hear about the Young Bucks until they got into TNA and they did that Generation Me shit, so I don't really know them niggas too much, respectfully. But Motor City Machine Guns are up there with my favorite tag teams of all time. The theme song was fire. The attire was cold. The entrance was spot on. The characters was tough. But that shit was in the past. That means these niggas don't got that much more time left. So with this run that they gonna have with the WWE, I only ask that y'all don't make these niggas weak like the OC. If I see them niggas on NXT a year after they win the tag team titles, y'all gotta see about me. Because I am gonna tear the tag team division up how much shit I'ma talk. And that's no offense to WWE. That don't mean I think y'all suck or nothing. But that just makes me think y'all don't give a fuck about tag team wrestling, which means every nigga is gonna be going for the world heavyweight title and the WWE title here soon. Cause tag teams don't mean shit, in my personal opinion, if that's what y'all gonna do.
Nah, Jesse, I gotta agree with that. It always kind of has felt like WWE has not given a shit about the tag team division. It always kind of felt like they kind of just saw them as like another title just to have. It was never like this is a division that should be taken seriously because some people do have very good chemistry in the ring where they can do impressive shit together. But we don't really see a lot of that from WWE. Like the ones we do see are like the same teams over and over and over and over again. So you're right. When the Motor City Machine Guns do debut, I really do pray to all hell and back they do not fuck up their booking.
I just know that Motor City Machine Guns is one of my favorite tag teams of all time in this generation. And if the Motor City Machine Guns get treated like ugly stepsisters, I'm not gonna lie to you. I bet not see a team beat the next tag team that ever knocks off Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Whoever the fuck beats them need to be just as powerful as these niggas because what you are telling me right now is that this nigga is unstoppable. Y'all are telling me Tonga Loa is unstoppable? Tama Tonga, sure. Nigga rabbit dog, like cool. But y'all are telling me Tonga Loa is one half of the tag team champions right now. Over Jacob Fatu. Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu would have a tough move set.
I don't understand the booking decision there.
Like y'all made this nigga give it up just to be in the background losing tag team matches with Solo? His most important match in WWE is a tag team match. Not a match for the US title. Not a one-on-one match to show the bloodline that he's really him. In the losing effort to Roman Reigns. And he wasn't the one who got pinned. You could have just put Tama Tonga or Tonga Loa in that. If the tribal chief and his right hand man are in a tag team match, there should be so much more that I'm seeing. He put on an okay match, but it could have been so much better if it was one on one. If he didn't have to share the spotlight with Solo.
Nah, facts. And that's the part that's kind of really upsetting me with the way they're building Jacob, because I remember seeing Jacob like a year ago before he even signed to WWE, and just how fucking insane he was. Because a dude that big should not be able to do half the shit he can pull off.
He's fucking good.
He's a monster, but they have not booked him to shit in WWE
at all.
Like, remember when the Bloodline was under Roman? How every single one of the members had a title.
I still don't like how they made that nigga give up the title because he moved to the main roster.
Yeah, that.
And then gave the mother, and then let Dominic Mysterio come down there and win the title and carry it on Raw and NXT.
That should make no sense. But like, my fear is like they're not gonna book Jacob how he should be booked. Jacob should be booked like how they're booking Braun Breaker almost. Like an insane motherfucker that don't care. Like you can hit him with a chair across the head, and he probably just gonna look at you like, "Do it again, little nigga."
Like an insane crash out.
Literally, like, hit me again. That felt good. But they're not booking him like that. Like, yeah, he's having these big breakout moments. Like you said, like his biggest match right now in the company should not just be for a tag team match with Solo. He should have a title under his belt. If we are not gonna do anything with LA Knight, I love LA Knight. Strip him of the US title, give it to fucking give it to Jacob.
Especially if LA Knight is only finna go to the WWE Championship next. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, his fighting to get to that US title has been underwhelming. And the match choices and all this other shit. Not saying he's bad, but the situations that y'all are trying to put him in,
it ain't working.
Why should he now put his name into the best of 7 series? That shit should have been talked about at the end of this shit. Whoever won the 7 series, whoever won the series should have been the one that goes to LA Knight and be like, I'm next. You just seen it for 7 weeks while I'm next. And then LA Knight goes do this whole other shit, and now you making that feud look good because he beat the same man in a 7-game series. Well, a 7-match series. He showed up and beat this motherfucker at the end. It should be me. LA Knight comes out of nowhere and be like, you know what, hell, it could be you. It could be you who's losing to me. 1, 2, 3. And have the whole world saying, yeah, like that should have been the motherfucking conversation. There's no point of him being in the middle of the shit. If y'all was gonna take this shit to 7, all I'm saying is have LA Knight at the end of that shit. Don't put him in the middle because now he fucking up. Now he fucking with Mello Hayes. He fucking with Carmelo. Carmelo ain't doing shit now. Unless you finna unless in the next pay-per-view that y'all have, which is gonna be in 3 weeks, that's Crown Jewel, right?
Crown Jewel, yeah.
Unless he's going to be competing for the United States Championship, leave him alone.
And that was my biggest fear about them calling up Melo, was that they weren't going to book him right. And so far, my fear has been right. Like, I'm not saying like this first of 7 series with Andrade hasn't been good, but we haven't done anything with him outside of this best of 7 team. You're right. If we're not going to do anything with him in these next 3 weeks leading up to Crown Jewel, or even having him at Crown Jewel, just drop it until the fucking Rumble happens and start him a new feud with somebody. Because I don't want to see Melo fall into this niche fucking system of being a mid upper tier card guy when he has so much more to offer. It's gonna be like how they did fucking Swerve. We saw how that shit panned out.
You know, I began to think to myself, if Swerve got tired of AEW and he decided to go to WWE, are we getting this Who's House, Swerve's House shit? Cause I hope that's the Swerve we get. I hope they don't just give him Swerve. He needs to be Swerve. He needs to be Swerve Strickland. He needs to be the same motherfucker we are seeing right now in WWE. Now maybe don't have the nigga on live television stapling himself.
Obviously, they would tone him down, but yeah, no, if he did go back, I would want the same Swerve we're seeing now. I wouldn't want to see a different Swerve, but I feel like, with WWE and the way that they book people, it's very rare that they're going to take exactly what they had in AEW and just pull it out over. Like, remember how shocking it was that Cody came over with the All-American Nightmare shit? Because it was like, are they going to make Cody keep that, or are they going to be like, oh, we got to make you a little bit different? No, they straight up did that. Andrade, I would say that was different because that's just kind of how he always was. AEW and WWE, he kind of was always like that. But they sometimes do tend to pull talent and straight up will make them act completely differently from how they acted on the previous brand.
I hate to see it, but at the same time, I don't need to see that nigga in Hell in a Cell stapling himself.
No, hell no, we don't need to see that.
I ain't gonna lie to you. For some reason, it give me uncomfortable. Like it makes me uncomfortable. It give me goosebumps.
It's a lot to pay. I was talking about this with a friend the other day. Like, I was like, because we were talking about that Terrifier 3 film that just actually dropped and how, like, they put warnings in before you go to see the film because of how gruesome it is. And I was like, some people just dead ass cannot stomach some of that shit. I was like, this newer Mortal Kombat, like, I was like, some of the fatalities, it would make me cringe from how, like, gory and shit they are. So, like, I can kind of understand that aspect of, like, yeah, you seen the nigga stable himself, you be like, oh no, like, not that ain't cool. That's understandable.
So now we can get into our final segment. We're close to our final segment. We are going to do 10 WWE guys that should have won the Big Boy belt. Now, we are going to go from 10 all the way up to 1. Switching off each pick.
Okay.
So, Ray John, whenever you're ready.
I think at number 10, we're going to put Adam Cole. And the reason I say Adam Cole is he never had a main title run outside of the NXT Championship on WWE. And it's like Adam Cole worked his ass off on WWE television. Like, I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, he definitely should have got him a title run with, like, a U.S. title or something. And the fact that he got nothing speaks of volumes to how they really kind of saw him, because he was booked fantastic on NXT. He was booked phenomenally on NXT, but I feel like he got to the main roster and they didn't know what to do with him.
But then again, he was never really gonna stay on the main roster.
And that was the thing. He was one of those guys, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm like, it also kind of contradicts itself because it's like he's never one of those guys that's gonna be this Omega breakout star that is gonna have everybody love him. Like, he's a very known guy. He's very popular, but he has his audience. He has his audience of fans. It's gonna, like, he would have to do something drastically different to, like, break out more into the mainstream.
And even then, I say this: he shouldn't have been the face of NXT for like 3 to 4 years.
That was the issue. He was the face of that brand for so long that people couldn't see him other than the face of that brand.
Like, after the first year, maybe 2, maybe the second year after the second War Games match, I could see it. But that third and fourth year, that final run and shit like that, it didn't feel right. It just felt like another, like, audience grab. of the original fans. If you was supposed to grow and wanted new fans on Adam Cole, Undisputed Era making a debut at the Royal Rumble, fucking up the Royal Rumble. This is how I see that shit. If I was booking it, the final two, whoever the fuck that was in the 2018 Rumble, was it Roman and Orton?
Was that 2018?
Think so.
I want to say.
Or was it Shinsuke?
It was Shinsuke. I was gonna say. I thought 2018 was Shinsuke.
See, okay, with Roman and Shinsuke, the Undisputed Era would have ran in on the match when it's halfway done. Roman setting up for the spear. Adam Cole come out of nowhere, hit him with that knee. Shinsuke get up. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish hit him with a double move. Roderick Strong pick up Roman Reigns and do some weird ass suplex, but it looked like it hurt. And it looked impossible for him to be doing that to somebody. They beat the hell out of him. They throw him out the ring on separate sides. You say it's undetermined who won. Why? Because we just shocked the system. And it cuts to black. Now it fucks you up on who's winning this Royal Rumble. Why did Adam Cole do this? Who the fuck are these guys? Why do these NXT niggas matter? I'm bought into it. That's how I would have booked it, personally.
And that would have been so much better than what the fuck we ended up getting.
Just saying.
Number 10, buddy.
Now, I'm gonna say number 10, but you gotta cut me some slack when I say 10. You might not agree with me. But number 10 for me is Goldust. It just feels crazy he never held Big Goldie.
It would have been perfect for him. I'll give you that.
Like the Intercontinental title when he made that bitch all gold. You got a world title. You got somebody that the crowd is eating at the palm of their hands being a freaky ass nigga. Y'all didn't see that opportunity to give him the world title at least once? One time, even if y'all let that nigga hold it for a week. Letting Goldust hold the title would have been the funniest world champion.
Gave people title runs for less time than that. They could have given him to him for a minute and just let him do the swap, and it would have been perfect still.
I know who you're talking about. He on my list too. Who number 9?
So if I had to do a number 9, I'm gonna say Rey Mysterio. And the reason I say Rey Mysterio is because both his World Heavyweight Championship and his WWE Championship reigns, he was not taken serious. And it hurt as a Rey Mysterio fan. Like, they took him serious with the build-up all the way to him winning Big Gold back in 2006. But then what was his booking like after that? Because if I remember correctly, it was just him getting the shit beat out of him on a consistent basis. 2011, he wins the WWE Championship in the gauntlet because CM Punk ran off with the title and Cena got fired from the company. He wins the belt. Not even hours later, who the fuck shows back up and whoops his ass for it? Cena.
I don't think Cena got fired for that. Did he?
Well, you remember, so the clause was that he had to beat CM Punk at Money in the Bank in 2011 because CM Punk's contract was ending. He said, if I win, I'm leaving with the title. And Vince was like, if you lose, Cena, you're fucking fired. So they fired him. And then they ran a gauntlet that next night on Monday Night Raw for the championship. And Rey Mysterio ended up winning. And, they're in the back celebrating and all that shit, rah, rah, rah. Cena shows up and is just like looking at the belt. So Rey gives him a title shot. He wins and Punk comes back and it's like, you're a fraud. Here's the actual belt.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Ray won it, and then John Cena said, hey, I know you just won, but I'm next. See you tonight.
They didn't even give him a week with the belt. It was hours. And I'm like, why? They never took Ray serious. And that always hurt as a Rey Mysterio fan because it's like, I get it. He's a smaller guy, but it's like, he's a workhorse.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I got him way higher on my list. I got him way higher on my list. I got some other
people on my list.
But I only let Bray John say his side of it. Because when his name comes up, I want you to know it might turn into a 20-minute rant.
You know what? Shit. You saw how pissed off I am about it. So I would imagine you are way more heated about the whole situation. You got a number 9.
Number 9 for me. Number 9 for me, I believe, is a legend. Oh yeah, definitely. Vader. Shawn Michaels, you a cold son of a bitch for that.
Oh yeah.
The fact that you changed the trajectory of that man's career because he wasn't in place all the way, stumped on that man's head. I ain't gonna lie to you. Vader a better man than me. I would have been crashed out Central. You wouldn't, boy. It would have took Vince, Hunter, Goldberg, 7 police officers, and the Dallas Cowboys to get me off of Shawn Michaels' ass. You gonna try to embarrass me? All because of this spot?
Because it was off by a centimeter?
You know you have so much pull. And because this one match happened where this one little spot went wrong, now I'm out of millions of dollars here. I'm not the star. I don't get a chance to hold the only belt that I was promised to hold when I got into this motherfucker. You telling me that's just gone bye-bye out the door? Crash out Central, Shawn Michaels, I would have tried to put his ass in the dirt.
It's unfair.
Now, I love you, Shawn. I love you now.
But you was a motherfucker back in the 90s.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have had to fight that Shawn Michaels.
I would say honestly, 90s Sean would have had to catch the fade.
Like, I don't care how much pull you got. Fire me at this point, but you gonna miss some hair.
Hey, you ever say you saw he had to live straight to Brett face because he know Brett was gonna beat the shit out of him during the Montreal Screwdrive. He knew Brett was gonna work his ass. he knew Brett was gonna drag his ass in that locker room.
So shit, who number 8 for you?
Number 8. And this, I'm gonna put him at number 8 just because this one always kind of bothers me because his other faction mates have gotten titles. Xavier Woods. You know, we've mentioned him. I think we mentioned him on the first podcast. It's just how actually talented he is, and just how underused as a talent he is. Like, you know, with them like kind of now working towards possibly breaking up the New Day after almost a damn decade. I kind of want to see, like, are they gonna break them up, or is this just a gag to kind of get Big E back, or are we gonna be able to do something different with Xavier Woods? Because Xavier Woods can work. You know, I thought we were gonna do something when we had that whole King Xavier shit. Like I told you, I did some backtracking. You know, I saw that. I thought something was gonna happen with that. I'm like, he won, King of the Ring. Like, this is huge, my boy. Nothing. Up in smoke.
Yeah, don't mean shit, but I mean, he can't be the only one to say that Roman Reigns has beaten everybody he went in one-on-ones with for a full year, except Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing he can take from this. Do I agree? Do I feel like he should have won some belt? Yes. Do I feel like the Intercontinental would have fit Xavier right?
Oh, Intercontinental would be perfect for bro.
Like, I even feel like before they like turned it into like the black and gold belt, if y'all would have gave him the white strap IC title, that shit would have been tough.
That would have been so damn tough.
That would have been a tough ass title to have on, because I know his ring gear for his championship matches would have been tough. It would have been so
nasty. You know, he would have did a nod to Shawn Michaels when he had the white IC. Like, that shit would have been so clean. But yeah, that one is always kind of linking in the back of my head. Like, not even just world titles. He just hasn't had a singles title at all. And it's like, he's such a talented wrestler. Like, his work outside of WWE is fucking A tier. A plus tier, if we're being real. He can work his ass off. But they don't want to book him like that for some weird reason.
That Creed nigga in TNA, Conscious Creed, I think it was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that nigga was tough.
He was tough as hell.
I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at now. Hopefully, make him a bad guy and he get a chance to hold the belt. Cool. What's next after?
Right, you can give a nigga a title, but it's like, what's the booking looking like afterward? We didn't see people get titles. They go nowhere.
I'm just saying, Cody. What is Cody gonna be? Like, where does Cody go after he loses the title? Where does Kevin Owens go if he don't win the title again? If he don't win the title, if he don't win the WWE title in like the next 2 years, there's no point in y'all. There was no point in y'all resigning him. The only reason why I think he will resign is just because he loved the business or he loved the company or he trusted the idea or the vision of the future. That's the only reason why I feel like that's what he re-signed for. Because his mind was so gone from, damn, I'm really finna be that guy again. Because when he was at prime, well, in my opinion of prime, when he was holding that Universal title, when he had the NXT title, when he was like that dude, the most is when I was like, oh, okay, Kevin Owens might do something here. Kevin Owens might be a multiple time WWE champion. The one Universal title reign. The one. Finn Balor might not have every title, but at least Finn Balor held the United States and WWE a few times. Kevin Owens held them too, but it's like they don't really matter. Those are like
he didn't really do much with
those titles. Are like throwaway. Like he was a transitional champion at that point.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't mention those.
The Goldberg incident. That really just made that whole title run just dog shit. Because it was good when he was beefing with Jericho, but
that's how I feel about it. My number 8 is Sting. I feel like him versus Undertaker was robbed for so much shit. Him and the Undertaker probably would have had great matches on SmackDown for the World Heavyweight Championship. Because again, like I said, this was during that ruthless aggression time. I don't see Sting holding the spinner belt. I don't see Sting coming from the rafters with a spinner belt on his waist. I can't see that. But the big gold, a title that he's familiar with, a title that Undertaker's been familiar with on SmackDown, both of them motherfuckers going face to face at Mania, would have been the only thing that makes sense. Now, the Sting beat Undertaker, hell no. That streak in my mind mentally stays undefeated. I don't care if Roman beat him. I don't care if Brock beat him. In my head, that after WrestleMania 24, actually not. After WrestleMania 26.
I would say 26. Whoa. 27 at least, because that's when he fought
Triple H, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's at the 27. No, at the 27 to 28.
I think he fought Triple H at 28 as well.
After that last match, after the end of an era match, after that one right there, I don't remember Undertaker losing. Mentally up here, I can say it out my mouth that yeah, Roman and Brock are the only two people to beat him at Mania, but mentally up here, Undertaker's streak has been perfect since I was 15, 16. You can't take that away from me up here. But him versus Sting, him and Sting would have been such a good match, and I feel like if y'all gave
throughout the years if Sting would have been in WWE, oh my god, they would have been fucking beating the shit out of each other.
Just imagine Undertaker gong hit, it goes dark. It hits again, the lights come back up, and Undertaker's in the ring. And then you hear those crows. and you turn the camera just a little bit to where Undertaker's face is in there, but the spotlight hits in the background and it's Sting in the rafters somewhere, or in his or like in the skybox or something like that. He just pop up in the goddamn skybox. You get that moment. Undertaker doesn't turn around, but he just feels his presence. Undertaker makes it go that purple foggy-ish type of look, and the motherfuckers are just waiting each other's presence, knowing that both of them are the dominant guys, and now they have to face off. Can the dead man beat Sting? Can Sting possibly be the guy that beats the Undertaker at Mania? The only person that would make sense if it wasn't Kane?
I gotta respect that because Sting and WWE would have been some shit right there. That would have been some shit right there.
I'd die behind it.
I gotta respect that, can you? So my number 6. Wait, number 6 or number 7?
7.
7. I'm gonna give it to Finn Balor. We talked about this a little bit outside. He just, he came up from NXT on fire. He was ready to take on the fucking world. He got injured versus Seth Rollins. He won the Universal title. They never trusted him again with that, with just having a higher belt or higher accolade in the company. And it always kind of bothered me because it's like, he can wrestle, and that shit they pulled in 2021 when he was going against Roman, to this day, that shit will never not piss me off. I just actually saw a clip of it the other night when the fucking ring fucking just ripped in half, and I was like, and it's like they not only just destroyed Finn's whole character, they killed the demon with that incident. Like that killed all the coolness about the demon, about this person that's supposed to be, okay, if I get the shit bit out of me and this demon come out, we're winning. We ain't losing. Because no matter what this dude hit me with, I'm finna get up. For him just to fall off some fucking ropes and get speared, and that's it.
Especially after the little music beat to like the heartbeat, and the
That
nigga
was the
was
part
just
that I
keep
saw,
getting
and I
up.
was like,
I was just saw that. I was like, damn, Finn Balor really finna be champion again.
nope. Never explained what happened to the ropes. Nobody ever cut them. Nobody ever was exposed for cutting the ropes. It just, the ropes just fell.
And it only makes me mad because they could have let that happen, because it's not like Finn has never beat Roman Reigns. Remember the tournament to crown the first ever Universal Champion. Finn Balor beat Roman
I kind of forgot about that.
to face Seth Rollins. He beat the big dog. He's beating the Tribal Chief. He didn't beat the nigga in Vince's version of his prime. His verse vision of Roman's prime.
Right.
So why couldn't he beat Roman now? Especially as the demon.
As the demon of all things. There was regular Finn Balor. I was like, okay, that makes sense. He ain't got the spiritual powers and shit. This the fucking demon. I digress. I feel very strongly about him not winning anything or having anything significant happen since 2016.
Can't hate you for it. You can't be mad at it. Number 7 for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Mr. Perfect. I had to make sure I spelled his name with some respect, how serious I am about it. Mr. Perfect, low-key, was probably the only person I'm going to ever mention from the Golden Era. Why? Because fuck the Golden Era.
Fuck them old ass niggas. Old ass goobers.
I don't give a fuck who came out the Golden Era, for real, for real. Shout out to Sean, shout out to Taker, shout out to Bret Hart, shout out to Austin. But it will forever, and I do mean ever, be fuck Hulk Hogan. I don't care how much Tony Atlas try to vouch for him. I don't give a fuck How many times you put him and Titus O'Neil next to each other, it's still fuck you. It's fuck you this way. It's fuck you that way. It's fuck you over there. It's fuck you over there. It's fuck Hulk Hogan to the end.
To the end of time. We might have to put a hashtag fuck Hogan in the video.
Probably will.
We probably have to. I feel like it's only right.
I'm putting it in the TikTok ones. I'm putting the TikTok clips.
Yeah, fuck you, Hulk Hogan.
That's just how I feel. Mr. Perfect should have definitely been a WWE champion.
At least once.
If he could have won the Rumble. He could have beat Shawn Michaels. He probably could have beat Bret Hart. He probably could have beat Lex Luger if y'all believed in him. Y'all just used that nigga for a set of muscles. Y'all could even let him beat Yokozuna. He found the perfect execution to beat Yoko. The perfect recipe to beat Yoko. Mr. Perfect putting up the perfect performance at WrestleMania. That don't sound like some shit y'all post on WWE Top 10 Greatest.
That would have been a forever moment.
The perfect ending to Mania. Y'all could literally make that a documentary.
And see, that's the part that sucks about professional wrestling. It's like this shit writes itself half of the time, and it's like they don't listen to the writing on the wall. This shit literally writes itself. Because you're right, that would have been perfect. No pun intended. And it was writing on the wall, right in Vince's face, and Vince is like, "No, I'm gonna do this."
But you look nice. Love the hair. Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6. I'm gonna give it to Asuka. Outside of NXT, they have done my girl so fucking dirty. Outside of NXT, they have really done Asuka dirty. Because they really haven't done much with her. Like, what? How many title runs has she had since leaving NXT? 2 or 3?
I know she had.
She just had the most recent one, which would have been last year. She would have got the one from the Money in the Bank from when Becky Lynch stepped away from being pregnant.
The SmackDown one. She won that in the TLC match with Charlotte and
So 3.
Yeah, then she had a Raw.
Okay, you know what? I think she's won it like 4 or 5 times. A World Heavyweight Championship.
Why the fuck am I questioning? Why the fuck am I doing all that when I can just look it up?
That is true. We was definitely not thinking. I want to say it's like 4 or 5 though. Because you're right. I totally forgot that she has won that a good amount of times.
She's a 3-time Raw Women's Champion and a former SmackDown Women's Champion. So she's held the title 4 times.
4 times. Name me one iconic thing from the 4 times she's held that title.
The only time I can think of is when she won the title. When she won it in that goddamn TLC match versus Charlotte and Becky. That's the only time I took it for real.
Because they haven't done much with her. They gave her title last year. She just literally held it until they got the new belt design. And then who did they give it to?
Bianca, and then Bianca gave it to Io.
Yeah, and Io went on to have a great title run.
Yeah, Io gave it to Bayley, and then here we are now.
Yeah, but it's like, I feel like every time they give Asuka one of these big championships, they don't really do much with it. And it's like, Asuka is so fucking talented. It's like, why are we not doing anything with these? Like, she was on NXT undefeated for over a fucking year.
Definitely fucking some people up.
Came over to the main roster, fucking more people up. Wins the fucking Rumble. Then loses.
To Charlotte fucking Flair.
And like, I just feel like, with Asuka, like, they're so inconsistent. Because it's like, Asuka, like, even when I first started watching WWE and I first saw Asuka, I was like, who the hell is this crazy Japanese woman? Then I'm like, oh, she's just genuinely crazy. But that's what I like about her is like she can wrestle her ass off while still being goofy because she knows that she's working half of these wrestlers.
And Nikki Cross and I think what was the old girl, Peyton Royce or some shit like that.
Yeah.
When they had their NXT championship match, I ain't gonna lie to you, nigga. I I legit started watching Takeover.
Because it was.
I wasn't watching takeovers at first. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was fucking banging, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's just a bit depressing that we don't see that Asuka get booked like that no more. Like even right now, like actually, no, she's injured, but even prior to her being injured, what were they doing with her?
Just put her right next to Damage Control again.
And they wasn't even doing shit, to be honest. Still aren't doing shit.
Number 6, another person that kind of came from the Golden Era, but it still fucked the Golden Era. Owen Hart.
Owen Hart definitely deserved his.
Like I'm just saying, like there's no way y'all not telling me that y'all wasn't gonna make history for the first brothers to hold the WWE Championship. The only two brothers to do it.
After he beat Brett clean. Not just beat him clean.
Hello.
No, I gotta agree with that one, bro.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I gotta agree with that one.
It's tragic, but you know the legacy lives on. But I mean, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me how two Hearts would have been champions, but two McMahons. No, I'm sorry. Three McMahons would have had multiple championship runs. Vince McMahon got a chance to carry the ECW World Championship, but Owen Hart couldn't get at least 3 months with the WWE Championship. Is just criminal to me.
It is. It's very much criminal.
That shit hell. Who your 5?
Number 5, I gotta give it to Big E. Do we gotta say much about it? I don't think so. Won the title, some big shit. What the fuck happens with it? He loses in a fatal 4-way match to Brock Lesnar of all people. And it's like Big E, he's always been one of those guys that's always kind of proved himself year after year. Because like you gotta remember when we first saw Big E, he came in as just Dolph Ziggler bodyguard. But guess what he was doing? He was working niggas with the mohawk. And it's like we didn't do shit with this title run, but just pass it to Brock because we gotta have the next Roman versus Brock match.
I mean, him and Drew did have one good match.
You know, I'm not saying it was all bad that came out of it. It's just it also wasn't a lot that was being done with it.
Good point. Because at the end of the day, Brock did get that bitch to Roman literally the next pay-per-view.
Just to turn around and give it to Roman. Why can't Big E be the one who lost it to Roman?
It ain't even that. It's just, to me, the fact that Big E could have been the first, and I think the only black man to come into WrestleMania as champion. He could have lost it at Mania for all I care.
You're right, he would
have been. But the first black male champion main eventing a WrestleMania. Whether you did that shit night 1 or night 2, I don't give a full fuck.
It's the fact that it was at Mania.
Y'all could have did that shit right after the last. Y'all could have did that shit like the match before the main event. Y'all decided to let this nigga lose to Brock Lesnar again.
And had like what 12 title fucking runs since he came back in 2012.
And what match? What goddamn pay-per-view was that? Was that day 1?
That was day 1. Because you remember it was supposed to be him versus it was supposed to be Brock versus Roman, but Roman tested positive for COVID, so they threw him into the fatal 4-way match, making it a fatal 5-way match.
Then Brock just wins and just, just says fuck it.
Yeah.
Number 5, I put Samoa Joe here. Let me just.
I didn't think about Joe. Fair. Extremely fair.
I don't think I need to say much.
No, I don't think anything needs to be said. Just the name. Yeah, I think just the name alone does it justice, bro.
Who your foe?
Number 4. All right, this one personal to me. Fucking Dolph Ziggler. And like we said, we talked about this one a little bit outside, and it was more due to concussions and shit. But God damn, when that man cashed in that fucking money in the bank on who was that? Alberto? Yeah, it's when he cashed in the money in the bank on Alberto. You remember we all thought Dolph was about to probably lose because Alberto got him in that foot ankle lock.
Yeah.
But Dolph still somehow got up and hit the zigzag in 1, 2, 3. That was the happiest day of my fucking life because I always have been fucking with Dolph. But just knowing that nothing came from that title run, nor did nothing ever. Did he even get like another big title shot like that afterward? Sucks. Because it's like, dude, Dolph was a workaholic. And like, the next big feud I can think he had probably after that was been the one with The Miz where he was going back and forth to the Intercontinental Championship. And he had that really deep moment in that deep segment where he was like, this is all I fucking had.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, John. Get the fuck out of my head, gang. Because I thought to myself right then and there, I'm thinking if Dolph Ziggler would have did that when it doesn't love you, when the business doesn't love you anymore, if he would have said that shit to Dean Ambrose, who was the WWE champion at the time, I ain't gonna lie to you, Dolph Ziggler would probably been the WWE champion.
Oh, for sure.
That was such a good promo.
Oh
that's when you believe
that's one of my favorite promos of all time. It is so good. But it's just like they never really did much with Dolph in WWE, and that kind of always upset me because it's like Dolph was such a good talent. But like we kind of discussed, shit happens sometimes. Like, he got injured, and by the time that he came back, he would have lost all his momentum, and they were on to the next big products. So it's just, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and it fucking sucks.
He did leave, and next thing you know, Seth Rollins came out of nowhere. Even a little bit before that, he kind of was pushed away, but shit, not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad. When Seth Rollins soloed himself from the goddamn Shield, any moment of Dolph Ziggler probably touching a WWE title.
No, it was that moment that it was that one match the Shield had against the Wyatt family where Seth Rollins was just tweaking. Yeah, came in like off the top rope, did that crazy move, and did those 2 dives to the outside. That was the moment I was like, yeah, Dolph Ziggler ain't never touching a big ass title again in his WWE career, bro. I was like, Seth just literally this moment right here just shed. Hey, I shit on him. Love both guys though. Love them to death.
My number 4. Not one consideration for this title is crazy work. Especially after he picked up the Great Khali. Cesaro not having the WWE Championship is criminal, and we definitely need to take it to court.
Yeah, we definitely got to sue Vince over that one, bro. Because Cesaro had always kind of been that one talent where it was like you put him in a match with anybody, oh, he's gonna work. He's gonna give you a fire match. I can't think of one really bad Cesaro match.
That's just how I'm feeling. Who your 3?
I agree with that. Number 3, I'm gonna give this one to Kofi Kingston. I gotta give this one to Kofi Kingston.
Brock Lesnar, you son of a bitch.
Brock, if I catch you in the street, it's on sight. I know I'm gonna lose, but damn it, I gotta get one good hit in. You motherfucker, you gave my man the Kofi Mania moment and said, that's a nice title, kid. I'm gonna take it off you in 2 minutes.
They ain't no 2 minutes. Hell, I think that match was 7 seconds.
You're right. It was 7 seconds. It was even more disrespectful Buddy didn't get a chance to fight. He jumped on Brock. Brock threw him over his shoulder and F5 him, and Kofi was dead.
My 3, I had to put Finn Balor here. Because it might sound cheap, but hey, you can't deny that he was robbed by injury. He was robbed of that shit.
It's like I don't want to blame Seth for it either, because Seth has done that move on so many different people. And Seth even retired the buckle bomb. Really, like he still does it, but not as frequently as he used to because of that. And it's like it sucks because it's like they had such a good match, and it's just a slight offshoot that Balor just happened to hit his arm a little differently on the thing, like he wasn't supposed to, and it's just No, I agree with that one, bro.
Yes, sir.
Number 2. Oh, let me see what my number 1 is. Okay, number 2. I'm gonna say Cody not ever winning the AEW championship for the simple fact that he made AEW really. Cody was putting his life on the line for AEW, and he really never even got a. What did he even challenge for the world title?
Once or twice.
I would say it wasn't even that many times. And it's like, I get it. They had other bigger talent they were trying to push. And I know Cody was like, the kind of seen as the guy that put AEW on the map. So it would kind of look weird, give him a title run. But the fact that it never happened is just kind of like crazy because look how fucking big he is in WWE now. But then again, AEW really, also the AEW fans hated Cody compared to how the WWE fans love him.
Then again, it kind of felt like Cody was going to push himself into those moments.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it also didn't help that, like I said, he really helped it. He was a VP. He held AEW. So it's like, when we do see him in these matches, we're like, okay, did you really earn that? Or did you say, I'm going to put myself in this title match because I can? So I agree with that.
I just feel like he didn't want to be doing what the Young Bucks are doing right now with the tag team division.
No, I think that is what it comes back to at the end of the day, is that he didn't want to do that because look, nobody likes the Young Bucks. Nobody likes them. I can't tell you one person I've met that likes the Young Bucks because of the way they book themselves. Because they know they have so much pull in this company. So yeah, that's I agree with that, Jesse.
My number 2, and I do feel strongly on this. So if you want to argue in the comments why you don't believe this should have happened, feel free. For the first 2 hours of this video, I'll be in the comments arguing with y'all. Matt Hardy.
You know what, Jesse? Before you even got into it, I was thinking Matt, but I was like, I don't know. Because I was like, I would have loved to see Matt Hardy have a title run, but would it have amounted to anything? So, go ahead and lay your points on me. I'm interested.
You telling me version 1 Matt Hardy couldn't have held the championship? He couldn't have been a villain. He couldn't have been the heel with a belt. You telling me all he had was the Cruiserweight Championship at the time? You telling me when y'all bought the World Heavyweight Championship, big Goldie over to SmackDown, you telling me he couldn't have held that title over there? That's bullshit.
Jesse, every point you just said, like how you said, like, get on my head, like, bro, we got to be on the same frequency today, because every point you said, I'm like, that's exactly what I would have said if I would have put Matt on my list. That's exactly what I would have said. Version 1.0 would have been perfect for a fucking title run. Even if it would have just lasted for like a month or a couple weeks, it's still just giving him that chance. Because he never really got the chance as any champion, even with the ECW champion, to kind of show his flowers and like show like his diversity and his skill set he has. We really never seen that from Matt until he started doing the...
Losing his championship in a championship scramble is the craziest shit I've ever fucking heard. And a championship scramble?
I hated those fucking matches as a kid.
WWE might not even count it, but the Brian Kendrick is technically a one-time WWE champion.
I don't like to think about that. I know they don't count it, but I count it, and I don't like to think about it. Because technically, he was champion.
Don't get me wrong, I love Brian Kendrick.
Oh yeah, he's a great talent.
Favorite tag team, one of my favorite tag teams as well.
He's a great, he's a producer in WWE now. He's done great. But what the fuck?
But it's like, come on, the Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick is cool. The Brian Kendrick that walked down the aisle like Matt Damon as a drunk college kid.
2008?
2008, 2009, yeah.
This is 2008 Brian Kendrick.
And here's the thing. Triple H was in that match. So
Jeff
technically,
Hardy was in that fucking match.
So technically, he beat Jeff Hardy and Triple H. No matter what. Y'all might not count it WWE, but I'm counting it.
That shit's on. That we can watch that shit on Peacock right now. That shit counts.
Who's your number one, G?
Christian. And I say Christian because while it was great that he had this great feud with Randy Orton, we didn't do shit with him having a belt but go back and forth with Randy. He won the title, loses to Randy the very same week on Friday Night SmackDown. Then proceeds to beef with Randy for 2 to 3 pay-per-views before winning it back just to lose it again.
My number one, ladies and gentlemen, is Rey Mysterio.
Talk your shit.
A title one. Did you not hear how the fuck the arena sounded when that nigga won? Do you not know how the fuck everybody felt about Rey Mysterio winning? It was like the nigga won a Super Bowl.
That was his year.
That would have been the moment. I don't care if y'all would have let him have it for 2 weeks, a month. But Rey Mysterio winning should have been something that we left home thinking happy about. Instead, y'all let John Cena take this moment away. The nigga had the belt for an hour and 45 minutes. What the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we... What are we talking about?
Take that bitch home. My man said we get to put that bitch in his suitcase and walk out the arena with it.
His kids didn't even get enough... Didn't even get pictures.
I didn't think he got the chance to change the nameplates.
Nah, this is for the nameplates. This is the spinner belt.
Yeah, I know, but you remember it still had the nameplate and you could change the size.
Oh, you talking about the one in the middle?
Yeah, I don't think he got to change that out.
I don't even think they made one for the nigga. I think they had one ready for John Cena. He was like, hey, where's mine when I walk out to the ring? About that. You're not gonna need one of those.
Oh, why is that?
Why? You ain't gonna have that by the time but you see, the ref gonna go 1, 2, 3,
and you gonna be the one looking up at the lights.
And John Cena is gonna leave with the belt that you brought in.
I would have walked out the company with the belt. I would have pulled a CM Punk. Oh, I'm not losing this belt. I'm just gonna leave. Because you're not making me the most temporary champion we have seen for the WWE Championship.
Here's the thing. If Ray would have won it then, CM Punk should have came out.
I would say, why couldn't he beef with CM Punk? That would have been fucking interesting. They've had a beef in the past. They could have just picked up from that.
It's the fact that y'all really had us thinking that Rey Mysterio had this underdog story to where he was just going to carry the title around and then drop it to Cena at a pay-per-view. Y'all let this nigga drop it the same night in WWE. That's y'all biggest point scratched off for me. Is y'all fucking Ray over like that?
They fucked over Ray so hard, bro.
Like Ray and Jeff Hardy, how they WWE championship reigns ended is where y'all got 2 points from me. Everything else has been fairly good. Fairly good. Y'all got y'all third strike taken off after the women's division kinda went somewhere. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for you today. This has been episode 5, man. 5. Episode 5 of Four Ropes Full Podcast. Now, this week we were just 2 man weaving through today. But next time we'll have our boy Chris with us and a special guest. So until then, we want to thank you all for wrestling. And just remember, the ropes are about to get full. See y'all.